Good morning and happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chum Change. This is live and recorded. For anybody that might be new here, we typically do is go over crypto news in the space or news in general. I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's here in the chat, and then we're going to get into this. I can't believe that FIT21 bill passed yesterday. That's amazing. And possibly an Ethereum Etf today. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Great and good mining. What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. We got Crypto KJ in the house. Nerd Beast. Andrew Masad. Let's see. Black Hat Team. Good to see you. Steven Cicero. Team JFK. My man Trade Like Snipe. What's up, dude? Good to see you. All set. What's up, man? Good to see you as well. Let's see. Son of a Rabbit. We have Dan R in the house. Dumpster Fire. Good morning. Nismo Miner. Everybody else I may have missed. Kyle Rosa. I appreciate you all. Lawnmower Man. You're probably dying out there today. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's do this. All right, getting into it. BTC looking like 69,931 bucks. That is still fantastic. We have Ethereum at a $3,800 or $3,900, just about. $3,889 to be exact. That is insane. Look at ETC pumping right alongside at 33 bucks as of right now. We get Caspa up over 14 cents. Man, this is crazy. Litecoin's at 86 bucks. We got Arbitrum right here up 6.69% to $1.22. Man, Pepe is actually pumping too. This is awesome. Look at this, killing it. Bit Tensor over here 476 bucks. Nice. Bonk is up today. Look at that, man. Everything is looking fantastic. What do you guys think? Let's see. Let me see. Dan R, you gotta stop being so jealous, bro. All right, let's move on. Crypto bubbles over here. We got Bonk. Bonk is up 13.5%. Looks like that's the winner of the day, I think. Yeah, that's the winner of the day. Bonk over here. Is anybody still holding Bonk? Let me know in the chat. $2.45 billion market cap. Freaking insane. Crazy. Again, Bit Tensor over here 9.5% up on the day, 473 bucks. We got Arbitrum 8.9% to $1.25. Render down 8.5%. That's kind of crappy, but it's still over 10 bucks. $10.49, which is pretty good. We have GNO over here, $355. Let's see what else. WorldCoin down 4.6% on the day to $4.88. Let's see. Safe over here. I don't know what this is actually. Anybody know what Safe is? 7.5%. Weird. Sarkov. Oh man, if you guys have any questions, at me in the chat. We got Pendle 6.3% to $6.37. Look at that. Again, Ethereum is up 5.4% to, again, $3,900 according to Crypto Bubbles over here. Crazy. You guys think we're gonna see a pump in Ethereum price today, or are we gonna have a pullback? It really depends if this thing gets approved or not. That's crazy, right? Fetch AI over here down 4.1% to $2.46. Man, we have a lot of stuff I want to watch this morning. I haven't had a chance to watch anything. I've been doing yard work and such. Sorry, flashbang, didn't mean to do that to you guys. Extreme Greed as of right now 76. It's been 76 for 3 days in a row at this point. So right now we're teetering the maybe we're going to see a pullback if this thing does not get approved today. I think we're going to see some sort of pullback, but if it gets approved, we could see a blast off past all-time highs, which would be crazy. What's Ethereum's all-time high actually? Is it 4,400? I think around there. All right, over here, top 10 coins. Actually, you know what? Let's do trending coins first. Over on CoinGecko, we have Turbo. This is a meme coin, I assume. 25.1%. We got Pepe up 6.9, and we got Link AI. Is that how you say that? Maybe I probably butchered that. I don't even know. 14.3% up on the day, 17 cents. Interesting. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, Lido Staked Ether, USDC, XRP, Dogecoin, and then Toncoin in 10th place.
Perfect.
Look at that. Dogecoin flipped Toncoin. $24 billion market cap. We got a $22 billion for Toncoin. Good morning. What's going on? It went good, all track. Thank you for asking, actually. That means a lot. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, the orientation thing went good. I took my daughter to see her elementary school, actually. I think that's what you're talking about. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it went well. She enjoyed it. The school's freaking huge. I was like, listen, I went to school in a box. This place is giant. It's like bigger than my high school. It's crazy. Anyways, let's see. Ethereum's all-time high. What was it at? I think it was 44. Oh, wow. It's 48? Ethereum got up to $4,800? Man, I don't remember that. I thought it was like 44. That's crazy. 48. Damn. But look, guys, 2017 bull run, 2021 bull run. This 2024 bull run or 2025 bull run is gonna be insane. This is crazy. This could be a insane pump up to close to 10k if this goes as projected. We saw Bitcoin break its all-time high before the halving, right? And we haven't even gotten to the bull run yet, in my opinion. It's just, things are just so positive, it's crazy. All right, Ethereum Classic, I think, is going to be one of these coins that you guys listen. If you're not, think like overall, right? Think of the people that don't know what crypto is yet. Okay, I know all you guys here, you guys all pay attention to crypto and stuff, but think about the people that don't know what it is. Timmy down the street, your neighbor. Okay, people that want to start investing into crypto, they're gonna look at Ethereum Classic and be like, I've heard of Ethereum, and they're gonna buy it because it's cheap and they see two options. They don't understand the difference, right? Again, this is the original Ethereum, but nonetheless, it's still it's obviously got less hype than the actual, you know, coin Ethereum, but its all-time high was 167 bucks, guys. Like, there ain't no chance this thing's not going to at least 100 bucks, in my opinion, at least. And again, 2017, 2018, right? And then 2021, it's yeah, I think we're gonna see a nice run up on ETC. That's my opinion. I'm hoping it's gonna carry us miners, actually. That could be freaking huge. And yeah, Nick K, I agree, code is law. It's yeah, they deleted some transactions, which was the reason for the fork to Ethereum Classic, right? Because some Ethereum people made out in this bullshit, let's remove some stuff, and the Ethereum Classic people didn't agree with it, so things just split, right? And Ethereum Classic is the true chain, but it is what it is. Caspa over here in 40th place. It's at 14 cents as of right now. It's been doing let's see, it actually finally broke out of its downwards trend. If you draw a line from this peak all the way down, it looks like we retested it right here with this little pop down, and now we're on the road to, if I had to guess, probably about 20 cents or so. But we'll see. 20-25 cents, that'd be sick. But if I could suggest anything, not financial advice, when this thing gets to the peak, take some profits, buy back in when it takes a retrace, just my opinion. But KRC20 tokens are coming the beginning of this month, June, and yeah, I believe that Rust protocol is already being implemented, or already has been implemented to some extent, so I'm a little behind with my Casper knowledge, so apologize for that. Dog with hat still doing pretty decent, $2.9 billion market cap. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Nothing else really popping out at me. I really want to get into this news though. All right, let's jump over to the mining segment of things. We got over here, mine the ASIC. Let's see what we're looking like for most profitable miners. You guys know I like to timestamp this stuff. We got the KS5 Pro 21 terahash unit making $93.80 a day. We got the KS5 20 terahash unit making $89.34. Crypto Mikkel, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Perfect. We have the KS5L 12 terahash unit making $49.76. We got the BMKS Max 11 terahash unit making $42.52. Again, this is all after 10 cents per kilowatt hour, as you can see right here. It's all profits after you pay your electric. The Windminer K9 $41.80. We got the AL box right here. I always skip over Bitmain, I don't know why, just because whatever. The AL box is in 7th place as of right now. 360 gigahashes, 180 watts. Oh, $33.23 a day. Let's see, what's the lithium at? Now I gotta look. Now we gotta look. Oh man, let's see. Oh man, $1.72. Bruh. Yeah, it's been taking a bit of a hit, huh? Taking a bit of a hit, man. These gold shell prices are well, the gold shell what's it called, boxes are holding the price down pretty bad. So I'm glad they didn't come out with any other miners. They came out with any other miners, man, this coin would have been yeah, this would have taken a real hit. Anyways, Ice River KS3, let's see, 8 terahash unit over here, $30.93 a day. Man, that's kind of terrible. KS3M 2080 a day, also an oof. Let's see, we got the AlphaPex DG1. This is a merge mining Litecoin and Doge, if I'm not mistaken. 17 bucks a day. Pretty good. It's pretty good, right? Not bad. The Antminer L7 This is my unit. I got it down at Terra Hosting. Shout out to them, paying 9.5 cents per kilowatt hour. If I'm not mistaken, I still haven't asked them. I think it's 9.5. It's either 9.5 or 10, depending. I think if you have more than one ASIC, I think it's lower than 10. But anyways, 9050. I'm still making almost 13 bucks a day mining Litecoin and Doge, which is awesome. This has literally just been stacking, and I'm just gonna offload it on the bull run when things peak out, right? Smartest thing to do, at least in my opinion. All right, we got the Ice River KS2 2 terahash unit. This is making $6.77 a day. Bruh. Terrible. X16Q over here, which is kind of crazy. ETHW must be doing pretty crappy actually. 1950 mega hashes. Mining ETC and ZIL. Looks like we're getting $5.12 a day. What is it? I don't want to click on this, but why does it say 34 ETC? 34. What is that? Why is it? I feel like this is wrong. I feel like that's wrong. Ice River KS1 over here, 1 terahash unit, making $3.39 a day. That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, let's see. Where's my S19K? Am I in profit yet on the 10 cents? Let's see. Well, first we'll go to the KS0 Pro. You guys know I got these things in the solar trailer. 73 cents a day. This is at 10 cents kilowatt hour. I'm making about a buck a day with no electricity costs in there. Then the original KS0, 33 cents a day. Damn. Bruh. That's terrible. S19K is back in the negative to pay back never. Damn it. 3 cents a day. I'm losing 3 cents a day, but it's all right. We'll keep stacking. Let's get on the GPUs, see what we got over here. Ironfish and Husat, top of the charts with 4090. Looks like Ironfish for the 170HX as well. Cortex over here on the 4080. Conflux and Husat for the 3080 Ti. Chlor on the 6800 XT. Xano on the 7900 XT and Chlor. We get Eternity on the 3070 and Conflux and Husat as well. Oh, and Ergo and Husat. Interesting. Interesting. Ergo's making a little bit of a comeback, huh? What's Ergo looking like? Let's see. 3.15% down, a 3.2% down, $1.23. How have they been doing actually? Just I haven't really looked at Ergo at all. Still doing pretty crappy though. Damn. Man, you remember this run up when it was like 20 bucks? This is 2021 bull run. I remember that when Ergo was like $20. It's crazy. Man, they took cliff dive. Terrible. Big oof. S19K, bro, you're good. At least you didn't buy an S19 90 terahash ASICs like me. Yeah, financial failure. Yeah, that sucks. You know what? I think Mining King's in the same situation. It's kind of shitty, but here's what it is. I think you'll be able to sell them though and get your money back when the bull run hits. So just hang on, don't freak out, just wait, just buy and wait. You know what I mean? That's what I would do anyways. So it looks like you guys get a plethora of coins over here. Chlor seems to be like it's on the top of the charts actually. Oh, I could type today. Let's see. Chlor AI up 0.94%, 18 cents. Nice. Oh, it took a friggin' dive. That looked way worse than I thought it was. That looked way worse. Let's see. Month. What are we looking like on the month? Kind of stagnant. 3 months. It's actually down a bit. It's upwards of 30 something cents. Dude, DJ Mines made a killing off Chlor, by the way. He is one of them guys that just he did really good on Chlor. He was down here at like 2 cents and he rode this shit all the way up. So good for him. The Duke and the DJ Mines. Miss you, buddy, if you're not gone already. All right, let's get over to actually, you know what, CPUs. Zephyrus? Yeah, Zeph still doing good. Zeph is still doing good over here, huh? Man, I'm regretting giving all my CPUs to Panda. Son of a bee. When Chump Change says don't freak out, that's when you run. Don't lie. Don't lie. A lot of people here. That's not nice. All right, Zeph, let's see. Let's check out Zeph's price. $4.64. I'm gonna be honest, I'm still shocked that Zeph's doing this well too. Even though this chart looks completely like ass. I'm not sure this coin's gonna last, but I don't know. This run up to 50 something dollars, I don't know, something's wrong. Something don't seem right here. This isn't a bull run. Like why would it run up like that? I don't know. Something's not right there. It's my opinion. That's why I never mind it. And I will never mind it. All right, moving on. Mining pool stats over here. New coins. And that was no, I'm not trying to throw shade. I promise. That's Zephyr. You guys do what you want. If you can make money, please, by all means, mine it. It's just something is weird about it. Just to me personally. Pug Dag. Look at this. Carlson hash. Another Carlson or Caspa fork. Or actually, this would be a Carlson fork, right? What is this? Pug. Look at that. Another meme coin. Is that what's going on here? Again, if you guys leave this site, do it at your own risk. Don't click on shit. Let's see. Looks like some AI generated doghouse. Pug is the latest meme coin sensation born. Yeah, all right. Nope. Out. No more. I'm sick of the meme coins. I'm all done with meme coins. Not for me. But if you guys are interested, there you go. Brand new coin over here. Mine it at your own risk. Download the wallet on a VM. Please don't be stupid. Events calendar. Let's see. Ethereum Classics 5th inning is in 7 days. Block rewards going down 2.56 to 2.048. Then we have Kyla coin. Wait a minute. What is this? New proof of work mining algorithm Flex. What? 9 days. This wasn't here yesterday. 9 days. Just an algo change. Hard fork. Huh. Interesting. I wish there was more info on that. Is there more info on that? This is the coin, by the way, Kyla coin. If you guys don't know, I think it's like a 21,000 maximum supply, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, please. Dan R, you're correct. Warning: never connect your wallets to the meme coin sites. Yes, please do not do that, for the love of God. Please do not. I want to know what the algo change is, though. I wonder why. I'm gonna have to look into this later. It's gonna be too much for me to try to find right now. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Weird. All right, let's move on to the news segment of things and see what we're looking like over here. This shout out to Crypto KJ for putting this in the HODL gang chat. We got a dormant pre-mine address containing 86 Ethereum, $3,205. Sorry, if I could speak right. 325,535 US dollars value has been activated after 8 years, 8.8 years. That's crazy. This was during the pre-mine. That's insane. Do you think that's gonna be dumped today? This guy's watching it like a hawk. If ETF doesn't get approved, we're gonna see a dump. Just heads up, please. Let's see. Kyla is changing the algo because one farm's having 99% of the hash rate. What? Wow. All right, well, that makes sense. All right, moving on. U.S. House passes market structure bill to regulate the crypto industry. Look at him. Happy-go-lucky guy. Where is it? Right here. The FIT21 is the first step to establish a regulatory framework for digital assets, and it must be improved by working with the Senate and the administration. This is a big deal, guys. This is to get us clear regulation, more or less, and get rid of CBDCs. Let's get over here real quick to Mr. Tom Emmer over here on Forbes breaking news. Let's see what they got to say here. He actually explains everything, and it was accepted. Mr. Solar Miner, dude, my man, appreciate you. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships, dude. Automatic Beats got one. Game with Smokey Dan Alvidas. Let's see. Solar Miner was gifted his own membership, and Lawnmower Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Solar Miner. Appreciate you. All right, let's do it. Okay. Nope. Not gonna do that. It's muted. Hold on. I hate Brave Browser. All right. Let's do this again. There we go.
Thank you, Blake.
His audio is really low.
This week, House Republicans, as Blake just said, are going to take action to safeguard our American values by passing.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to kill this alert box just for a minute. I appreciate that, Solar Miner. Thank you so much.
My bill, the CBDC, or the Central Bank Digital Currency Anti-Surveillance State Act. With this legislation, we're going to stop unelected bureaucrats in the Biden administration from using a central bank digital currency, again, a CBDC, that threatens to destroy the American way of life. Unlike decentralized digital assets such as Bitcoin, CBDCs are a digital form of sovereign currency designed, issued, and monitored by the federal government. In short, a CBDC is a government-controlled, programmable money that, if not designed to be just like cash, open, permissionless, and private with a capital P, it not only could, it will give the federal government significant transaction level.
I think I just figured it out. It was in my settings. My volume thing was down.
Data on individuals and the ability to suppress politically unpopular activity. We've already seen examples of foreign governments weaponizing their financial system against their citizens. In China, the Communist Party actually has the digital yuan that is being used to monitor its citizens, and they are building social scores based on behaviors.
You guys hear that? That's what they're doing with the digital yuan right now. That's crazy. They're just trying to, more or less, CBDCs would control everything. So him pushing this bill is huge for the crypto industry.
Again, that's an anti-American approach.
Facts.
Close to home in the Western Hemisphere, Canada froze the bank accounts of hundreds of truckers protesting the vaccine mandate in 2022.
You guys remember that? When their banks were shut down, they couldn't do anything? That's crazy.
If you think it can happen, think.
Oh, am I too loud? No, I'm not too loud. That should be good, right? I'm not clipping or anything.
Again, it has, and it will if we allow this to happen here. It's naive to believe that your government will not weaponize the tools that it has to control you. This may be why the Biden administration issued an executive order placing urgency on CBDC research and development. All signals point towards this administration developing a CBDC that can and will be used to surveil and control Americans. The Federal Reserve has even described it. Don't listen to them when they tell you that they're not doing anything. The Federal Reserve has already described CBDCs as one of their key duties in a document that was provided to my office. In doing this, the Biden administration has proven they are itching to trade Americans' right to privacy for a CCP-style surveillance tool. House Republicans are not going to let that happen. 165 members of our conference have co-sponsored our CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act, and it has garnered wide industry support. This bill ensures that Congress, not the administration or the administrative state more specifically, retains the authority over the United States digital currency policy so that it reflects our American values of privacy, individual sovereignty, and free market competitiveness. If not open, permissionless, and private, again with a capital P, like cash, a CBDC is nothing more than a big government surveillance tool that will be weaponized to oppress Americans' freedom and right to privacy. I encourage all of my colleagues, Republican and Democrat, to support this bill, which protects innovation and defends against an ever-expanding government surveillance state. With that, I yield to our majority leader.
Quick clap for Mr. Emmer. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hadouken. Real quick, Charlie in the chat said, you guys think crypto will ever have halts like the stock market? He said, boy, I was mad with Robinhood a couple years ago. Charlie, yes. Yes. So stock market has like rules, right? They have, I'm probably going to be wrong on this, but I'm going to be close. 7%, 13%, and like 20% movements, right? When they have a percentage movement like that in any of the markets, they will halt it for X amount of hours. And if it's 20%, it will be like the entire day. It'll be shut down. So yes, if you're buying crypto through those platforms, yeah, you can get halted and you won't be able to sell. But if you have your own cryptocurrency, selling through, I don't know, Coinbase or exchanging it through like your Tangem wallet, right? Like I have a crypto wallet called Tangem. I use it every single day. Literally, I will swap out of coins into a stable coin when I see the price going up. That's, you know, when it's a smart move for me, obviously, but can be risky. You could lose money doing that, right? If it goes up further or whatever the case may be, just be safe, right? But yeah, I mean, you can get halted if you're using the big places like that, to be honest. All right, let's move on. Scaramucci talks Nvidia, Trump, Biden, crypto, and more. Let's see what they got to say over here on Yahoo Finance. Let's do it.
Crypto is back. Investors once again optimistic that the SEC is going to potentially approve the spot Ethereum Etf. So what's ahead and how much further maybe can this rally that we've seen in crypto go? Who better to ask than our very own Anthony Scaramucci? He's the founder of Skybridge Capital and author of the new book From Wall Street to the White House and back. Congratulations on the new book, Anthony.
Thank you. I brought copies for you.
Oh, thank you. We were hoping you would.
The rule is it doesn't have to go to your house, but it can't come back to mine, okay? I got too many books in the basement.
It'll come to our houses. I'm confident of that.
I've got my yearbook picture from 1982 on the front cover.
Looking good. You're looking good in that picture.
It takes a lot of money to airbrush a picture like that. So, because I was reading, it's sort of odd to me that we're in a state of politicization of our regulatory system. Years ago it was what is right or wrong for the country? How are we going to stimulate growth? How are we going to create transparency for investors and give investors a full understanding of the risk? Now we're like either hard right regulatory environment or hard left regulatory environment as opposed to left and right or wrong. And Gary Gensler is an example. I work with him at Goldman Sachs. He has taken the politics of this full hog, and so it's disappointing for us on Wall Street. Because years ago, and there's a great book on this, Diana Henriquez wrote a book called Taming the Street. Years ago when they created the SEC, they went to the industry, the legislators, the regulators, the administrators, and they worked together to create the system that has been very successful in the United States for 90 plus years.
Are we starting to see, though, a bit of a sea change, though, in Washington when you take a look at the fact that at least the street is a bit more optimistic that we are going to get some sort of approval? You have the House considering this legislation. You have the Senate pushing back on some of the regulation here. There does seem to be more bipartisan support here for crypto. So are we starting to see maybe that narrative change inside Washington? Real
quick, I just wanted to answer a question in the chat. So Yusuf asked about the tangent swap fees. So, all right. So if I was going to swap, say, 5 Ethereum into USDT, it would cost me $240 to swap it, but it's like instant. Like literally, it takes like a minute. So put that in perspective, I guess. But it's like, if you get the gain, like, I mean, you could have a pullback with 5 Ethereum, but divide that by what, the $240 by 5, it's going to cost you like $25 in Ethereum to swap it out. Like, that's really not that bad, right? So
I hope so.
Maybe a little more, $40.
The problem is you have people that are in their 70s and 80s. Some of them are even closing in on 90 that are running this thing, and so they really don't have a full understanding of what's going on. Mike Novogratz said something to me today, yesterday, which I'll share with you guys. There are 85 million people in this country that own crypto in one form or another. There are 65 million dog owners. So you have more crypto owners than you have dog owners. I mean, just imagine a politician saying, I'm anti-dog. How would that go down, okay, with the body politic? So I think the Biden administration is looking at polling data and recognizes that younger people, Hispanic community, African American community are in crypto. You guys really want to go that hard against crypto? I don't think it makes sense from a electoral perspective, and I would have predicted, and of course I get so many things wrong, and I write about how many things I've gotten wrong in my life in that book, but if you had said to me in 2023, what's going to happen presidential-wise in 2024, I would have said both candidates will be pro-crypto, because they're not going to lose any votes being pro-crypto, but they might lose some votes, particularly from younger people being anti-crypto.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, they're not going to lose votes being pro-crypto, but they're going to lose votes being anti-crypto. It's a very good point. Fully Electric also said swap fees dramatically change by the minute. All depends on the network load, and that's so true. And I mean, yeah, you'd probably make more if you traded it on a platform, but if the platform gets halted, then you're probably going to lose more. You know what I mean? So I'd rather pay a little extra just to swap it within my wallet and not have to send it to an exchange. This is my opinion.
We are seeing that both of them are pro-crypto, just to jump in here. And
the Biden administration is pro-crypto?
Well, you came on our show and said that he was previously. Do you not think that anymore?
The Biden administration?
Right.
No, I think that what I said...
I don't think he ever said that. He never said that.
I hope I said it correctly. If I didn't, I got to correct myself. I said the president himself is agnostic to positive on crypto. When we talk and sit down with the members of us in the crypto community, Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren are decidedly anti-crypto, and he's allowed them to control the regulatory reins. That could be changing. I mean, I think that's the point, and that's why the Wall Street's optimistic about the Ethereum ETF. There could be a signal coming from the president and his team, particularly the campaign, that this may be a mistake, the direction that we're going in.
Well, do you think that the fact that we are in an election cycle, you've got Biden and Trump both making it a political football, do you think that makes the approval of the spot ETH ETF more likely?
I do. And if you had asked me that last week, as he brought me on last week, I said, there's no way this ETF is going to get approved.
That's what I was thinking the same thing. I didn't think it was going to get approved. I wonder. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Approval chance? Put it in the chat. What do you think? Like 50, 100%? I can put a poll up if you want, but
This is going to open up a Pandora's box for
Curious to know what
other
you think.
types of ETFs, a Solana ETF, an Avalanche ETF, et cetera. Why would those be excluded if Ethereum is included?
100%
And
green
so
hash.
I do
Jeez.
think there's a sea change, and I think you saw it literally this week. The market was blah, and then all of a sudden we had a 10% move and stuff, 20% move in Ethereum.
So then where does that leave this, going back to what Maddie asked just a moment ago, Biden versus Trump, is one better than the other today for crypto?
Damn, a lot of you guys think that's really going to get approved today, huh? Damn. And you know what? Solana, them talking about Solana being the next ETF, could you imagine? You know how sick that is?
So I'm obviously supporting President Biden. We'll have to get into that in a second. You're asking me a specific question. I think President Trump has very good political instincts. He was anti-crypto as president. You can see tweets that he said, anti-Bitcoin, anti-crypto. He came out about 10 days ago and said he's pro-crypto now. And I think he is probably going to tug the Biden campaign into the pro-crypto camp. Okay, I think they come reluctantly. And again, the president, you're correct, agnostic on it, but it's really some of the people like that work for Gary Gensler or Elizabeth Warren.
Which has more staying power, though? Should voters be concerned about a waffling from either candidate once the election's over?
And it's a good question, but I don't think so, because I think younger people like the two of you are coming into power. And those older people, I mean, I think Chuck, I don't know, was Chuck Rangel like George Washington's great-grandfather or something like that? He's still in the I mean, guys, give up the reins, let younger people run this thing, and I think the younger people will modify this. And remember, the regulators did not want Uber. Go back 10, 12 years ago, regulators, legislators were fighting Uber, but you know who wanted Uber? The people wanted Uber. And thank God in a country like this, the people still win out.
So let's turn
you know, Crypto Frank, I almost played a clip of that. The NVIDIA is doing a 1-to-10 stock split. Just a heads up. I know it's not crypto, but it's good to diversify. And that's very true. I almost played that today, but it was like another 5-7 minute clip that I just don't have time for today, unfortunately. But yeah, they are doing a split, and there's like, what, 150%, what was it, dividend, like gains or something that's going to happen because of that, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Crypto Frank.
Conversation a bit and talk about the big story of the day, and that is NVIDIA. I'm curious to get your thoughts. Just market at current valuations. You've got lots riding on this report. There certainly has been a lot of hype about what we are going to hear and see from NVIDIA after the bell. How big of a bellwether is it for the market? And what does it ultimately mean here just in terms of the larger story, the more macro story that's playing out?
Oh, they're going to talk about it in this clip. That's another reason I didn't do it. That's the other reason. Yeah, they're going to talk about it here, I guess. But what's it called? Someone just said, should I sell NVIDIA? I personally wouldn't if I didn't. I don't own any personally. So full transparency, but I wouldn't if I had it.
Markets today.
So I've said this consistently that we own it. We like it. We like AI. Could it be overvalued? Could it be in a crowded trade? Yes, we could be. But I want to just point out to people, if you're a long-term holder, you're going to benefit from these great companies like NVIDIA. You know, if you took Amazon, go back 25 years, 10 periods of time down at least 20, one period of time down 80. The very famous Jeff Bezos letter in the year 2000 when he was writing about the demolition of his stock, but yet the improvement of fundamentals. NVIDIA is growing and evolving. Could it have a short-term impact on the market here? No question. Do we own it? We own it. Are we staying in it? Yes. And you know, I just point out to people that are listening, there's a guy named Warren Buffett. He made a 70-year bet on America. Sometime in 1954, he decided, you know what, I'm getting long America. I'm getting long super high-quality companies. I'm going to take this ride with America. And I think people have to start thinking like that again. NVIDIA is one of those names. I think if you hold it over the next decade, you're going to be very well rewarded.
I know a year ago we spoke and you said regarding the Fed from a macro perspective that they would declare victory around 4% inflation. We've seen them very much so not do that. They're sticking to that 2% goal. What do you
before they get off the NVIDIA topic, Crypto Frank said, yep, it should pump more since people normally buy at lower prices since most don't know how to buy fractional stocks. Yeah, so them doing a 1 to 10 split, it's going to be cheaper for the average Joe to get in, basically, is what Crypto Frank's saying, from what I understand. But yeah, I would agree 100%. And I think your dividends are going to be greater because you're going to get more stock if you already have it, right?
What do you think that does for risk assets for the tech trade, including names like NVIDIA?
Okay, so you're right. They are jawboning people and telling the people they're going to go to 2%. But when you really look at the data, I think they cut rates well before they get to those targets. And so I'm still in the 2, possibly 3 camp this year. Hopefully you guys will invite me back to either prove me right or wrong on that. But the reason I'm saying that is they have this debt bullet. They're staring down the barrel of a debt bullet. You don't want to get the U.S. in a situation where we're spending $1.5 to $2 trillion on interest payments. We're upside down right now. 27% of the GDP is in federal spending. 6 to 7% of it is in deficit spending. If alarm bells are not going off at the Fed, or if you're looking at the economic dashboard of the country and seeing this imbalance, this is wild deficit spending for a nation at full employment with these wage numbers.
Well, let's talk about the book, because I'm curious about your thoughts on how it ties to the election. The new book, From Wall Street to the White House and Back Here. I'm curious, what is one thing that you know from your time in the White House about President Trump that you think that voters should know heading into November?
Listen, there's 40 of us. I was with Secretary Esper this week. I was with General Milley. General Kelly's a personal friend of mine. There are 40 of us that have spoken out about the danger of Donald Trump returning to the White House. The Vice President of the United States for the 4 years prior, Mike Pence, has spoken out about this. He was on the ballot with the president. So I submit to the two of you and your viewers and listeners, if we worked at a car company and we told you the car was not manufactured properly, it was going to blow up and kill your family, are you getting in the car? If we worked at a pharmaceutical company and told you, that pill's going to kill you. So you've got 40 people that were in the
Hold on, correction. Every single pill you take, there's like a mile long as to why you shouldn't take it. Like every commercial you see, like, may cause death, heart attack, like stroke, seizure, like all this bullshit. So that was a bad analogy. But are they trying to, this is crazy. I just want to see where it goes.
Sub-cabinet assistants of the president are telling you how dangerous he is, or telling you how unpredictable he is, how irrational the decision making is. He's also stating publicly, he used in his advertising recently the words unified Reich. I mean, who does that in the United States? He's saying publicly that he wants to deport 15 million people. Okay, you just got to stop and think about what he's saying. He wants to go after people like you guys in the media. If you don't agree with him, he has said publicly he wants to pull FCC licenses from people that don't agree with him. He told 2 of his defense attorneys, both of which left his defense, that he wants to use the FBI as the Gestapo. Now, the good news is he doesn't understand history, he doesn't read books, he doesn't even know what that word means, the Gestapo. So we got a lot of people on Wall Street that like him. They think that the short-termism of those business policies are going to help the country. But what has been great about this country is the predictabilities of the law and the subordination of all of us to the law. And the founder set up a system that said no one person could have that amount of power. And so he talks about unitary executive power, and he's got guys on his team from the Heritage Foundation but believe in that. So go read about unitary executive power and read their 1,000-page plan for what they want to do for America, and it's going to make America different than the country we grew up in. And so I will take policies from the Biden administration that I disagree with, and I'll sweat out those policies, okay, in order to get to a younger, smarter, center-right candidate.
So, Andy, I'm gonna.
Yeah, Duke Nukem. Funny. Pretty sure the FBI is already doing that. They always accuse others of what they're doing. Yeah, guys, listen. Like, the president is the president at the end of the day, right? But who's really in charge? It ain't the president. It's not the president. If we've realized anything throughout this entire term with I'm not gonna get in this too far with Mr. Biden, it's like no chance he's really running shit. Like,
ask you, because when you take a look at the polls
not
right
happening.
now, his
That was about as diplomatic as I've ever been.
That was
by the
very.
way, okay?
We're impressed.
I mean, if this was like MSNBC, I would have probably been hitting him a lot harder. I just want to point that out.
But why is it, though, his messaging still registering with voters? And then what does that ultimately tell us about what the messaging should be at this point, maybe more so from the Biden administration?
Listen, the Biden administration is placating the hard left. You got to give President Trump credit. He's moving to the middle. He is, and even his hard right wants to ban abortion in the country. They want to stop IVF. He knows this. He's out there saying, "Hey, we got to cut that nonsense out." So, President Trump, former President Trump, tacking to the middle. The Biden administration is still placating the hard left. It's a very big mistake for them, and this is why the sentiment has changed in favor of President Trump.
All right, Anthony Scaramucci, we wish we had more time. Thanks so much for joining us
this
here.
This was almost as long as my White House tenure. I'm very happy.
Founder of Skybridge Capital, and also congratulations.
All right, shout out to Yahoo Finance for that. All right, let's move on. Bloomberg Technology over here. Crypto markets optimistic on the Ethereum ETF. Let's see what Mr. Is his name Matt Miller? Is that his name? I think over here. Let's see what he's got to say about it.
What do you think, though, of a ETF, yet more institutional money potentially coming into the smart contract side of the equation?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of any other cryptocurrency outside of Bitcoin, but I think there is a hilarious story.
Oh, Jack Mallers, that's his name. Jack Mallers, my bad. Strike CEO. Wow, talk about a Bitcoin maxi.
As to why this is happening. I mean, I was laughing out loud. It looks like someone went to Gary Gensler and said, "Hey, buddy, you're not in charge anymore." And you'd have to think why that was. It's because banks and Wall Street are making money, right? Banks get a really bad deal in today's market is they have to buy bonds that are performing awfully. And all of a sudden, they get a free market in this independent crypto thing, and they're actually making money. These markets have life. These markets go up. When governments debase their currency, these things perform well. And they got a taste of Bitcoin, and it was the best performing product that they've ever had. And they're like, oh man, how many other pieces of crap are there out there that we can list as ETFs? And I literally think that's what's happening. It's a way better business to launch crypto ETFs than it is to buy bonds right now. Based on the macro environment. So I think someone said, hey, Gary, sorry, buddy, despite you thinking that these things are securities, we need to make money. And that's what happened.
Well, it's funny that you bring up Gary Gensler because, of course, the House of Representatives is currently taking on a bill at the moment as to whether it should be the SEC at all overseeing crypto products more generally or whether it should be shifted. But to your point, whether or not Ethereum does indeed manage to become spot traded with an ETF and money coming in, there's a real organization of some of the documents because they don't want to see staking involved in any way. How do you think about what that means for an investment opportunity?
Listen, again, I'm a Bitcoin guy. I think all of this is a distraction and a load and nonsense. I think what they're trying to do is walk the fine line of how can we justify banks and Wall Street making more revenue on this industry, because with all passive investing and central banks really trying to price control everything, this market has life. And if it has life, it means there's an opportunity to make money. Volatility is a good thing. People on Wall Street like volatility. So they're trying to find a way to justify and make happy and peace with existing securities laws while giving these Wall Street and these big banks like JP Morgan an ability to monetize this space and actually make money, because the business they're in right now is awful. I mean, you're needing to buy bonds, lend money to the government, and not get paid the growth that they're
Equities have been doing quite well. I mean, there are certain parts of the I get your point, though. Financial institutions still been doing quite well in the rest of the markets, but there's potentially a role for banks to play here, which could also be going through regulatory.
Yeah, but I think, listen, the S&P 500 is dominated by what, like the top 7 companies, and they're all tech companies. Tech companies don't care about the cost of capital. They don't need business loans. Facebook, Apple, these companies can finance their business with their existing cash flows. And so the rest of the world is in a pain of hurt. And banks right now, their whole job is to take our deposits and buy bonds, and these bonds are getting slaughtered. And all of a sudden, they're like, wow, here's a market with life. Here's a market with retail flows. Here's a market that has volatility and that is actually reactive to the outside world. Hey, how many of these crypto things exist? Hey, Gary, accept them all. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Shubaduki coin. What did I say on here? We should get a Shubaduki ETF soon. Seriously, I really think they're going to try and monetize it.
Jack, let's go back to basics here. There will be members of the Bloomberg Technology audience that push back on, I'm paraphrasing, a spot ETH ETF being the next listing of a piece of crap. There's a standard tagline in our Bloomberg coverage, which is that Ether is the native token of Ethereum, and Ethereum is the most widely commercially used blockchain. What would be your response to that standard line?
Sure. Okay. And I apologize to all those I offended. Here's my point. Bitcoin is the only money within the cryptocurrency space. It's designed and treated as a monetary asset. So then what do I think Ethereum is? I think Ethereum is a technology, which you actually just displayed in your introduction and definition of it. Ethereum appeals to developers. They change the monetary policy and the rules all of the time. However, the market often conflates it as a money, conflates it as a commodity. Strike is a technology. NVIDIA is a technology. These things are regulated by the SEC. These things have cash flows. These things have founders, directors, people that set the roadmap. And so when I say a piece of crap, maybe I'm being a bit aggressive, but I think it's distinctly different from Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin can be the world reserve asset, the one money that we use to store our time and energy. And I think Ethereum can be a technology which competes with NVIDIA. But then it gets confusing. It's like, well, what's their cash flows? Who founded it? Who sets the direction? Why does it change so much? And when it does change, why does it change? I think that there's a lot of intentional confusion going on in the story. And as a Bitcoiner, it frustrates me because I'm trying to fix the money, fix the world. And so I think that there's a lot the market has to sort out as to what it actually is and how to value it.
I mean, he's right on some of it for sure, but like, he's a little much. All right. Ether pulls back from rally as SEC decision approaches. Let's see what they got to say over here on CNBC television.
Ethereum soaring this week as the SEC deadline for spot ETF approval quickly approaches. Investors suddenly turning optimistic this week, sending the crypto soaring. Ether pulling back a bit today, but still up over 60% year to date, on pace for its best week in over a year. For more on what the SEC's decision will mean for the crypto space, let's turn to our own Bitcoin baller, or in this case, Ether expert. And of course, that would be BK Brian Kelly. What do you think? Is this a sell the news event?
No, I don't think it's a sell the news event, although we probably got a lot of the...
All right, well, we know they said that on live TV, so it's probably going to be a sell the news event.
Initial kind of excitement out of the way. Ethereum's really been underperforming everybody else. It's just, and everybody's kind of left it for dead. So I think you had a big short covering rally. But in general, what this has done is change the landscape for crypto, particularly politically in this country. So in beginning of May, Trump was asked a question about crypto. And he said, if you want crypto, vote for Trump. That clip went viral and actually changed things in Washington. We saw multiple votes over the last several days that were pro-crypto. The president said he was going to veto those and then kind of backed off. So I think there's been a sea change here in the regulatory environment, and it's a welcome one from the industry.
So this is just in the past few weeks, you think, you got more optimistic?
This is since May 6th, much more optimistic. And then what we're seeing is the SEC is starting to amend these S1s. So I don't know if the Ethereum ETF gets approved today, next week or the week after. It will get approved at some point in time. But also the trade now is who's next, right?
Exactly. Who is next? Because
good question.
And I was talking about yesterday. Now it's almost time for truly my ETF, my blended ETF of which, which crypto asset it is. And so who is next, though?
I mean, I think you've got to think about Solana as probably the next one, right? I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are probably the big three for this cycle. But I'll give you even a stranger, or maybe not stranger, but a maybe an unintuitive way to think about it, Robinhood and Coinbase. Because now we have some clarity about what a security is and what isn't. And they'll be able to list a lot more crypto, which means a lot more trading for them. So I think...
What do you guys think, Solana ETF?
They're the biggest beneficiaries from the change that's gone on.
That was kind of interesting, though, if you took like Coinbase and stuff. That's
so
neat.
BK, really glad to have you here. Big fan of your work.
They did something like that.
I have a question about all of the FTX money, then, a lot of talk about how much they're actually getting.
Yeah.
Do you think, I don't know if it's $11 billion now or what, will that go back into crypto? Will it go into Bitcoin? Where's it going to go?
Yeah.
Before it gets into that, what do you guys think about a top 10 ETF? Do you think that would probably happen before Solana? That would be my guess, but I don't know.
I do think most of that money is crypto native, right? So it's crypto funds, people that are investing in this. So I do think most of that money will come back in. What we've seen so far is a lot of private deals. There were a lot of private deals in Solana that's happened over the last month where investors in the receiver in FTX was selling Solana to investors. So I think that what's going to happen is it'll just be recycled in. There may be some of it that kind of leaks out to the side, but I would think most of that money stays in the crypto ecosystem.
So you've liked Solana for a long time now, even before this sort of the sniff of an ETF. Aside from Solana, what are some of what is your number one sort of moonshot coin trade?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think you can look at a couple different ones. You can look at some of the AI coins, so something like a Fetch AI. That's been really well.
Boy.
And then what's been hot recently is what we call the professor coins, so ones that have kind of been developed by professors at universities. So Avalanche is one of those, AVAX. I would look at some of those. They tend to trade with everybody else, and once they get going, they tend to trade at a multiple of everything else.
Yeah, very true. Very true. You can make a lot of money on them coins. All right, moving on. Crypto world, CNBC television. White House signals Biden will sign crypto bill. So this was passed. Let's get into it.
Today, the Biden administration says it's against the passage of the FIT for the 21st Century Act. The Trump campaign announces it will start accepting crypto donations. And Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital's founder and CEO, breaks down what advisors need to know about crypto from the CNBC Financial Advisor Summit.
Interesting. Caspa is missing something. What do you mean, Nismo?
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Major cryptocurrencies pretty flat today, with Bitcoin rising just under 1% and trading above $70,000 as of noon Eastern. Ether dropped slightly in the past 24 hours, trading at the $3,700 level just a day before the SEC has to decide whether to approve the first application for a spot Ether ETF. Solana, meantime, climbed more than 2.5%. Ether's muted trading comes after a 2-day rally, thanks to reports that the SEC had requested key document updates from potential spot Ether ETF issuers and exchanges. Traders took those headlines as a sign that the SEC was poised to approve spot Ether ETFs, but an agency spokesperson told CNBC it does not comment on individual filings. Final decisions on applications by VanEck and ARK are due tomorrow and Friday, respectively. BlackRock and Grayscale are among the asset managers that also have applications pending before the SEC. Cboe, an exchange associated with 5 asset managers with pending applications for spot Ether ETFs, published amended filings yesterday in response to the feedback from regulators. Cboe, an exchange associated with 5 asset managers with pending applications, published amended filings yesterday in response to the feedback from regulators. Those applicants include Fidelity, VanEck, Invesco Galaxy, FIT21 shares, and Franklin Templeton. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. The Biden administration said today that it opposes the passage of the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, a crypto market structure bill, but that doesn't mean the president intends to veto it. The White House published this statement today saying it's against the bill, citing concerns over a lack of investor protections. The administration also said it's eager to work with Congress to ensure a comprehensive and balanced regulatory framework for digital assets. Perfect. SEC Chair Gary Gensler also argued in a statement today that the FIT for the 21st Century Act would hurt investors, adding that it would hinder the work of his agency. The bill is expected to see a vote in the House this afternoon. Next, the Trump campaign announced it will start accepting crypto donations. The move is Trump's latest effort to court the crypto crowd, opening a new source of potential funds for the campaign, which still lags Biden in cash despite outraising the Democratic incumbent last month. Other crypto-friendly moves by Trump include a dinner for his NFT backers at his Mar-a-Lago club earlier this month.
Look at that place. That place is sick.
CNBC asked the Biden campaign about its views on accepting crypto donations, but hasn't gotten a response yet. Trump is not the first presidential candidate to accept crypto donations. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is mounting a long-shot independent bid, announced last May that his campaign would accept Bitcoin contributions. And finally, a wide range of tech companies, including some crypto firms, are introducing a coalition aimed at combating online fraud and scams. The group, dubbed Tech Against Scams, includes crypto companies Coinbase, Kraken, Ripple, and Gemini. Other members include Meta and Match Group, the parent company of Tinder and Hinge. According to Match, the coalition gives members an opportunity to share information in an effort to prevent users from falling victim to fraud like pig butchering, a new kind of crypto investment scam that's been gaining traction in recent years. Chainalysis describes pig butchering as a romance scam, which got its name because of the way bad actors fatten up their victims by building trust to then get them to invest in a fake investment opportunity.
Guys, that pig butcher scam is so sad, and I personally know somebody that literally lost $250,000 to one of those. It is so freaking awful, and just it's terrible. Dan R, thank you so much. Hadouken to you, and I'm sorry that the alerts don't work. I don't know why I can't get it fixed. I've tried, but you just sent me 1.5 Solana. You're crazy. Perfect. Thank you so much, dude. Love you long time.
In a statement, Coinbase's chief security officer said fraud schemes are becoming increasingly sophisticated and that the crypto platform is dedicated to disrupting emerging online scams through collaboration, information sharing, and enhanced consumer education. All right, for our main story, Mike Novogratz, the founder and CEO of Galaxy Digital, spoke with Kate Rooney at CNBC's Financial Advisor Summit this morning. The event brings together the country's top advisory firms to explore the state of the markets, and of course, that includes digital assets. The two discussed portfolio allocation, political crypto sentiment, ETFs, and more.
Mike, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here.
I'm having fun.
It's Bitcoin Pizza Day, is that right? Happy Bitcoin Pizza Day?
It was yesterday.
It's happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. It's happy Crypto Day because it feels like the politics of crypto are shifting. And what I mean by that, it's, crypto had started to look like a small group of Democrats were just stopping any progress in regulation and in the industry. And for a bunch of reasons, President Trump saying he's the crypto president, he's accepting crypto donations, and realizing there's a vulnerability here in the election year, the Democrats are responding pretty quickly. And we're seeing things that I couldn't have dreamed of 2 weeks ago happening at a very rapid speed. And that's really setting the table for a really exciting, few years in this industry.
Guys, we're still early. If anybody's just getting here, if you're just into the market, like brand new, like this is your first bull run, please put a 1 in the chat. This bull run, in my opinion, is going to be like the last hoorah for giant gains when it comes to crypto. So like, do as much research as you can and try to find the best coins you can invest into, because this is the time that you're going to make the most. The next bull run, I don't think it's going to be as crazy. So like, you're still early right now. This is the time to get in.
That make it a safer investment, or at least recommendation from financial advisors, that sort of regulatory clarity that you're talking about, or maybe even just more certainty in DC. Talk about what that might mean, at least, for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as an investment.
So let's start with Bitcoin. The fact that the government approved an ETF, that Larry Fink, the largest asset manager in the world, is out there saying this should be part of every portfolio. This is digital gold. As long as the government keeps spending recklessly, Bitcoin should go higher. You can't get much more institutional than that. We're partnered with Invesco in an ETF, both in Bitcoin, and now it looks like the Ethereum ETF is going to get approved this week, maybe as early as tomorrow. And so for the two biggest products to have the stamp of approval from the U.S., at one point, what are you scared of? You've got the richest person in Massachusetts, Abby Johnson, who's been a huge crypto fan and a big advocate. The richest person in Pennsylvania, Jeff Yost, big crypto fan. You can go around, Stan Druckenmiller, Ray Dalio. Some of the best investors in the world recognize that Bitcoin's an asset that should go higher. And so I just keep asking the question, what are you scared of?
Yeah, Abby Johnson has been sort of an under-the-radar Bitcoin bull. But now that you're talking about the stamp of approval, if that is the case, what is the appropriate allocation for somebody who's not entirely in on crypto? They're looking to put a certain percentage of their portfolio or their clients' money. How should people think about this?
Listen, 2 to 5%. Think about what you do in a great stock, right? What's your allocation to Apple or Google or Microsoft? Often it's at least that high. And so I would say 2 to 5%, in the whole space. And you can start smaller. You can start with 1%. What I've learned talking to people about this since 2013, I literally am the oldest guy in crypto, and I've been doing this for 11 years, is get off zero. Once you get off zero, once you have a little bit of an allocation, you start following the story. Like, we invest in things that we understand. And so things that look complicated, we often stay away from. You learn about things by putting a little money on the line. Then you pay attention to the article. You pay attention to the interview. And so if there's one message I'd send to all the investment advisors and all their clients is get off zero.
What role is that going to play within your portfolio? Is it, like you said, the high beta tech name, not even big tech, but are you thinking about it as a growth allocation? And if not, when is it really going to start showing up as digital gold and sort of that safety play? Do you anticipate any sort of shift there?
I mean, listen, I have been loud and clear this year on CNBC and anywhere else I spoke that silver, gold, copper, Bitcoin, other crypto are all going to go from lower left to upper right. They're going to be at a bull market because it's an election year and we have a government that can't stop spending money. And the big competitor Donald J. Trump spent more money when he was in office than almost any president. And so you've got populist on the left and you've got a populist on the right, and that makes for a great environment. And so, listen, Bitcoin right now trades like it's a risk asset some days, like it's an inflation hedge some days. You know, similar to gold, there's not an immediate one-to-one correlation. Good inflation number, you know, having a correlation. It's a narrative and it's a story. And if we get a new administration after this election that comes in and says, we are going to buckle down and we are going to stop spending 25% of GDP at federal level, or 26.5%, and move that back to 20%. We're going to bash the deficits. We're going to be fiscally responsible. The story for gold and Bitcoin isn't as good. It just isn't, right? I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
I wonder what you make of the wealth transfer. You've got a lot of money in the hands of baby boomers that in the next decade or so, multiple decades, will transfer to a new generation. Does that set up Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for more upside if this?
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
You know, when Charlie Munger passed away, I had typed up a cheeky tweet and I said, you can't do it. Charlie Munger's a legend. But Charlie Munger hated Bitcoin. Never understood it. Never took the time to want to understand it. He didn't have to. He was 95 years old and he'd made billions of dollars doing what he did. And so
I think that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand. He was super old and he already made a killing. Why does he care about, Bitcoin?
He
made sense.
Didn't have the intellectual curiosity to dig deep and try to understand it. That money, I'm sure some of it went to, family members and that were much younger. Those guys love crypto. They love Bitcoin. They don't love gold, right? Even meme stocks. Older people I can't believe these Dogecoin. What a waste of time. You talk to a 25-year-old and they see it differently. And so the overall space,
that one's
having digital assets, feeling comfortable in a digital world is just so much more enthusiastic the younger you get. And so we're going to see the largest transfer of wealth in the history of the world, from gray hair to youth, and that's going to be great for crypto.
Yeah, it's interesting, sort of the generational divide. It seems like even across politics, you were talking about what's going on in D.C., it feels like there's more of a generational gap than almost even a political gap when it comes to crypto.
Yeah, you look on the Democratic side, guys like Richie Torres and Jake Auchincloss from Massachusetts, they love crypto. They get it. They did their homework. They understand it. And you look at the guys that are hobbling into Congress with the gray hair, and it's just not as important to them.
Have you heard the term boomer coin? It feels like Bitcoin, as you said, it's got this stamp of approval. It has actually been a lot less volatile. We talked about the volatility coming in. Bitcoin has been a little bit boring lately. Do you think, that's probably a good thing for financial advisors listening to this. What do you make of that?
The financial advisors broadly cover the $45 trillion of boomer wealth. And so, yes, the ETF is a wonderful product for them. How do you get started? You give someone something that they're used to. The ETH ETF as well. And so
I got
my job as a crypto evangelist has been to bring people into the tent. And, how you get into the tent is not as important as getting into the tent. And so I think the ETF is serving a wonderful function.
Good way to put it.
And Bitcoin is the boomer coin because it's easier to understand than the other coins. And so, but that's how you get involved. Every single person I've turned on to Bitcoin, about 2 months later calls and says, hey, tell me about that Ethereum. And then a month later, tell me about that Solana. And they slowly go down this learning curve. The Bitcoin,
that's good,
the crypto community calls it the rabbit hole. But it's a learning curve. So you go up it, not down it. And they just get more excited about the overall potential of the space.
And it doesn't matter how much you guys invest either, right? Obviously, invest whatever you can afford to invest. But if you're at least in it a little bit, at least you're not left out. You know what I mean?
Gateway. Mike, I want to ask you about a survey from our FA community. This is from our events team. They asked, how likely are you to recommend Bitcoin investments to your clients in the next year? 68% said not at all. They said they're not doing it. 24% said somewhat. Only 8% were very likely. What do you make of those results? And what are you hearing from the people who say we're still not comfortable with it, despite everything you've argued here?
Yeah, I kind of love those results because it tells me how much upside we have, right? Think about Larry Fink. 6 years ago, you can find all kinds of quotes about Larry Fink not liking this. Doesn't make any sense to me, does it? Right? Now he's an evangelist. And so the one thing about crypto is you've got to sell someone, they don't buy it. Right? Crypto is sold. We call it orange pilling. When you orange pill someone, you convince a skeptic that, hey, I now see why you like Bitcoin. And what this ETF has done, it has gotten the sales forces of these giant traditional finance organizations educated in how crypto works and why it's important, and they're out selling. And so instead of just Mike Novogratz and a few others knocking on doors trying to convince people, we have the whole Morgan Stanley sales force that's getting educated, and in time is going to start, selling. And let me tell you, we partnered up with Invesco, and they got off to a bad start with the ETF, and the ETF went down in price. And I remember getting on a call with them. I was like, dudes, you got lucky that you didn't sell anything, because now you can buy it at 38, 39,000, and your clients will love you. If they had listened, some did, and they got their clients in at 40,000, and now it's trading at 70,000. Not one client's going to say, dude, why did you do that? Right? The clients are going to say, hey, what else can I do? And so profits beget interest. And I'm telling you, crypto, if this regulatory thaw continues to happen, Bitcoin will be significantly higher this time next year. If the Fed ends up cutting rates, and I'm not sure they will, but if they end up cutting rates, Bitcoin will be significantly higher last year. And so the message I would tell people is to get off zero, get your clients involved. What's the worst that can happen? You put 1.5%, 2% in, and the thing underperforms the S&P, and it's not really impacting your overall portfolio allocation. You can look at any study about what crypto has done. It has lowered the overall volatility of a portfolio and increased the revenue. And so it is a sharp ratio plus to portfolios.
But the other thing you guys got to understand is, like, it's not a get rich quick scheme either, right? Crypto is more of a long-term game. So make sure you put money in that you can, like, wait on. You know what I mean? Unless you do make some good money, then hell yeah, take profits.
Mike, I was going to ask you about rates. You answered my question there. I wonder, how else can you get exposure? What do you think about derivatives, some of the crypto proxies out there, whether it's Coinbase or some of the mining stocks? Talk about some of the crypto adjacent names.
Yeah, listen, I think there are not that many equities. There's Coinbase, there's MicroStrategy, there's a bunch of mining stocks. We are praying, I say a Hail Mary and an Our Father every night, that the SEC approves us to be a U.S. listed stock. There are 3 or 4 other crypto stocks in the queue. Biden's administration's SEC has not been friendly to applicants like ourselves. And so, small amount of stocks. I think the miners all trade very expensively. Doesn't mean they can't get more expensive, right? These are momentum names. MicroStrategy trades 2 times its value of Bitcoin. Like that is something that is not sustainable long term by any stretch. It could go higher because, again, limited names. And what's interesting is, why do these names outperform the ETF? Because they have options on them. The ETF doesn't have an options market yet, and all the young kids play the options. And so I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, at least 2 to 3 months, you will get options on the Bitcoin ETF. I am praying that our stock, which is far cheaper than any of the U.S. listed stocks, we trade in Canada, gets listed in the U.S. And that there will be a big jump then in both volume and valuation. And so I think a year from now, 18 months from now, instead of having 6 or 7 crypto stocks, there'll be 26 crypto stocks, and then there'll be a stock ETF, and you'll see this industry widen out. But right now in the U.S. equity market, they're very
so early. That's crazy. Shout out to Mike Novogratz and Crypto World over here. Real quick, Fully Electric said, he said the get rich coins are meme coins. He said it's also the get poor quick coins as well. Yeah, you're not wrong at all. All right, moving on to videos. I want to see what Mr. Austin over here at Altcoin Daily has to say. Historic U.S. crypto bill passes in shocking majority vote. Let's see what he's going to say about the that FIT21 bill passing. Let's do it.
In a shocking majority vote, new pro-crypto legislation has just passed in the House of Representatives. This is historic legislation. It's called FIT21 Act.
Today, the House set to vote for the very first time on comprehensive crypto legislation called the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, or as it's known for short, FIT21.
It aims to simplify crypto regulation in the U.S. It does this by clarifying regulatory responsibilities, essentially allowing the CFTC to take control of regulation over the SEC.
This legislation, which House Financial Services Chair Patrick McHenry has been pushing for the better part of a year, would establish the Commodities Future and Trading Commission as the leading regulator of digital assets. There would be clear divisions for what the CFTC will regulate and what would fall under the purview of the Securities and Exchange Commission, which has vehemently cracked down on the crypto industry with a litany of enforcement actions.
And how this affects you under the proposed legislation, the CFTC would regulate digital assets if the associated blockchain or digital ledger is both functional and decentralized. On the other hand, the SEC would oversee assets as securities if the blockchain is functional but not decentralized. And that's fair. If a blockchain is decentralized, it should be a commodity, like Bitcoin. Decentralization, according to the bill, means no single entity controls more than 20% of the digital asset or its voting power.
This legislation would also establish consumer protections and bar the sort of commingling of customer funds that played a role in the undoing of the crypto exchange FTX.
Now, Gary Gensler is not happy about this. He wants to retain power.
In a rare rebuke, SEC Chair Gary Gensler put out a lengthy statement this morning on the legislation saying, quote, it would create new regulatory gaps and undermine decades of precedent regarding the oversight of investment contracts, putting investors and capital markets at immeasurable risk.
Yet President Biden, who appointed Gary Gensler years ago, just in. President Biden will not veto FIT21 crypto bill if passed today. And in this direct statement, even though the administration, the White House, does state they're opposed to the passage of the bill, which would affect the regulatory structure for digital assets in the United States, they would not veto. The administration looks forward to continued collaboration with Congress on developing legislation for digital assets that includes adequate guardrails for consumers and investors while creating the conditions needed for innovation, and further time will be needed for such collaboration. So
this is why I like watching these videos, just because he obviously goes through Twitter. I'm not like a huge Twitter guy. Real quick, I was just looking over here. I was trying to find out when like the deadline is for Ethereum ETF, but I found this on Cointelegraph. Ethereum ETF decision due in hours as BTC price gets 80K May target. If this gets approved, they're thinking 80K in May. The end of this month. That's crazy for Bitcoin.
Actually, that was a little ambiguous. He is obviously opposed, but typically you would come out and say, hey, this is important to me. I'd veto it. President Biden does not threaten veto against House crypto bill. And now that this passed in the House, it goes to the Senate. If passed by the Senate, then it moves into law.
We have an opportunity to determine whether the next iteration of the internet will be designed by Americans or if it will instead reflect the values of some other nation.
And if we've learned anything, is that Gary Gensler, SEC chair, is not really in charge. He's there to do Biden's bidding.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of any other cryptocurrency outside of Bitcoin, but I think there is a hilarious story as to why this is happening. I mean, I was laughing out loud. It looks like someone went to Gary Gensler and said, hey, buddy, you're not in charge anymore. And you'd have to think why that was.
That's so funny.
It's because banks and Wall Street are making money.
And in an update from yesterday's video, the real reason cryptocurrency is going up, it's happening. We have at least 5 of the potential Ethereum ETF issuers that have submitted their amended 19B4s in the last 25 minutes. An SEC-approved Ethereum ETF is coming.
And you'd have to think why that was. It's because banks and Wall Street are making money. right? Banks get a really bad deal in today's market is they have to buy bonds that are performing awfully. And all of a sudden they get a free market in this independent crypto thing, and they're actually making money. These markets have life. These markets go up. When governments debase their currency, these things perform well. And they got a taste of Bitcoin, and it was the best performing product that they've ever had. And they're like, oh man, how many other pieces of crap are there out there that we can list as ETFs? And I literally think that's what's happening. It's a way better business to launch crypto ETFs than it is to buy bonds right now. Based on the macro environment. So I think someone said, hey, Gary, sorry, buddy, despite you thinking that these things are securities, we need to make money. And that's what happened.
So obviously, Jack Mallers is a Bitcoin maximalist, meaning he's always going to trash anything that's not Bitcoin. But I loved how these Bloomberg news anchors finally pushed back.
See, that's kind of ignorant to push anything away that's not just Bitcoin. But at the same time, like, I get it. You know, Bitcoin is the first OG. It is what it is.
Let's go back to basics here. There will be members of the Bloomberg Technology audience that push back on, I'm paraphrasing, a spot ETH ETF being the next listing of a piece of crap. There's a standard tagline in our Bloomberg coverage, which is that Ether is the native token of Ethereum, and Ethereum is the most widely commercially used blockchain.
Very true.
What would be your response to that standard line?
Sure. Okay. And I apologize to all those I offended. Here's my point. Bitcoin is the only money within the cryptocurrency space. It's designed and treated as a monetary asset. So then what do I think Ethereum is? I think Ethereum is a technology, which you actually just displayed in your introduction and definition of it. Ethereum appeals to developers. They change the monetary policy and the rules all of the time. However, the market often conflates it as a money, conflates it as a commodity. Strike is a technology. NVIDIA is a technology. These things are regulated by the SEC. These things have cash flows. These things have founders, directors, people that set the roadmap. And so when I say a piece of crap, maybe I'm being a bit aggressive, but I think it's distinctly different from Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin can be the world reserve asset, the one money that we use to store our time and energy. And I think Ethereum can be a technology which competes with NVIDIA. But then it gets confusing. It's like, well, what's their cash flows? Who founded it? Who sets the direction? Why does it change so much? And when it does change, why does it change? I think that there's a lot of intentional confusion going on in the story. And as a Bitcoiner, it frustrates me because I'm trying to fix the money, fix the world. And so
in Solana news,
yeah, he's really not wrong with what he's saying. He's really not. Yeah.
A dev hospitalized with third-degree burns trying to pump meme coin. The Solana meme coin dev had fireworks shot at him while doused in alcohol on live stream as an attempt to pump his token. The token is called Truth or Dare. And do not try this at home. I cannot share with you this video.
Is he shilling this right now? What is this?
It's too graphic for this channel, for YouTube. But the last half of the 30-minute live stream is hard to watch. The dev screams out in pain.
Fucking idiot. I don't even want to listen to that. Like, what?
Claims he can't feel his hands and tells the others that he needs to go to the hospital. It burns, bro.
Why are
My
people
body
so
burns.
stupid?
In crypto gaming news, star hero.
No, I don't care about crypto gaming at all.
And in artificial intelligence news,
this is a big deal.
AI-focused tokens edge higher ahead of NVIDIA earnings results. AI protocol AIT, made a big announcement, calling all AIT stakers, I am a staker, listen up, in preparation for NVIDIA's quarterly earnings report, we will be conducting an airdrop of our investment in Sharp Labs to AIT stakers, meaning every eligible staker, those staking in the 56-day pool, will be getting an airdrop of some Sharp Labs token.
Can I just real quick on the airdrop thing, please, for the love of God, if you have money in these wallets that you're you're getting eligible airdrops to, right? You have to do some trading basically on this platform with this wallet to be able to be eligible for this, airdrop. Phantom does it, right? You have to use Jupiter or whatever. The wallet that you have linked or eligible for this, right? You want to get eligibility, do the trading in it, fine, but take your money out of that wallet and put it somewhere else and just keep the that wallet just whatever for the airdrop. And then when you get the airdrop, okay, take that funds, send it out to a different wallet, and then it doesn't matter if that wallet gets compromised. Do you know what I mean? Just make sure you don't leave money on there, because people get robbed left and right with airdrop stuff, and it's so sad. I can't explain it. I really can't explain how many times and how many people have said, please be careful with these airdrops, and people still make mistakes constantly. Even people that friggin' are in the space for a long time. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. Chris Bagnell, he got friggin' ripped of, what was it, like $1,000 a couple months ago. Just for whatever. DJ got hit. I don't know what his was all about. I don't think it was an airdrop related thing, but still, like, there's people, even us, that get hit all the time. Please be careful.
Was that exact tweet
It's
from
crazy.
the COO in preparation for a key milestone
I
at
don't
AIT
trust any of this
Protocol.
shit.
The team at AIT Venture Funds has decided to allocate and distribute our investment in Sharp Labs, a notable AI project with thousands of users, to the AIT community. Meanwhile, a buyback burn of approximately 319,000 AIT tokens worth over $130,000 has been complete. And again, speaking of AI, speaking of AIT, the final 7 days left to be part of our stake drop campaigns. This is for Leica AI. I am an investor in this token. Just for the folks at home, Leica is the first Web3
chilling this.
Also, Paid Network and Commonwealth are making big news. I'm advisors to both projects.
All right, he's shilling stuff on us. All right, let me see. Shout out to Altcoin Daily. I understand they got bills to pay, but we ain't chilling shit here. All right, let's get into the recap segment of things. Bitcoin $69,202 and Ethereum 3,837. Sorry, talking to the wife. Give me a second. Oh, let's see. All right, you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Just want to kind of recap things a little bit for you. Let's see what the biggest earner and loser is of the day. Render losing over here 9.6% down on the day, and then we have Bonk up 14%. Look at that. ETC's doing great, 10% on the day. Hell yeah. Let's see. ETC looking pretty good over here, 28th place, 33 bucks. All right, wife's saying hi. She's waving. Hi, bye. See ya. Have a good day at work. All right. Anyways, guys, listen. If this happens, Ethereum ETF happens, we're gonna be in really good shape. We're gonna be in really, really good shape. But you guys should, if you're like actively trying to catch the sell the news, if this thing does get disapproved, please pay attention and yeah, just be careful. Be careful. And honestly, I wouldn't really even stress over it if you miss it. If you miss it, allow it to be missed, because you're not really going to be losing a lot long term. Okay, the Ethereum ETF is going to get approved. I am like 95% certain that it's going to happen eventually. Not today, might not be tomorrow, but soon it will happen. And once it happens, then the price appreciation will come. So there might be a little bit of panic initially, but overall you'll make money. Don't sell for a loss because you got scared and it didn't get approved today. All right, that's the biggest thing I can stress here, because shit, you will freak out. Especially if you're first like in the space. Now ETC is the OG. It is ETC's killing it, man. I love ETC, absolutely. I actually solo mined ETC on a lot of my jazz miners for a while, and yeah, I have a decent bag of ETC actually. I think it's gonna do well though, honestly. Just new money coming in. You know, you go to Coinbase. This is exactly how I started when I first got in to Coinbase and understanding what the hell crypto was in general. I was looking at ETC and Ethereum, right? Ethereum, granted, was like, it was like $300 maybe it was $300, and ETC was like $5 or $4. And I was like, why is this one so expensive? Why is this one so cheap? I'm gonna buy a bunch of this because I could buy more coins, and that one I could only buy one, or whatever the case may be, right? So I ended up buying a lot of ETC, and then I actually looked into it, and I actually enjoy ETC. Like, it's mineable now still, right? Ethereum was then too, but now it's, Ethereum's no longer mineable. It's proof of stake. So Ethereum Classic is where it's at for miners. I think it's going to do very well in this bull run. Again, you look at the max chart. I know these charts are ass, but you can see 2017 we had like a $40 ETC at some point, right? Yeah, $44 or so, and then we went up to 160 something in 2021. You guys don't think this is going to get to at least $100? You're on something for sure. I think it's easily going to get to $100. That's just my opinion, but you guys do what you want. I am not a financial advisor. This is just, again, my opinion. It's 80% down right now. This is the time. All right. Anyways, guys, listen, love you all. Appreciate you all. Hopefully you guys have a great, happy, and safe Thursday. I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go raid Miss Randy Hipper. She'll be live in 4 minutes. Peace out and have a good day.
Each